is from FitBee Apparel. The owner's name is Jennifer Altman. I'll put all of her information right here. She's absolutely lovely. So this is I don't know the names of any of this stuff, but all of this stuff is on her website, I'm almost positive. If it is, I'll link it in the bio below. Here are some shorts, sports bra. The shorts do have a front seam. That's not my favorite aspect about shorts, but it actually doesn't bother me in these shorts in particular. Can say that if you don't like sweat showing, these shorts very minimally show sweat like here. It's like right in the cracks right here, and then like deep in my butt. So yeah, so that's something to keep in mind if you don't like sweat showing. I don't care, I'm here to sweat, so it doesn't ever bother me. I think this is actually really comfortable. I worked out in this full outfit today for the first time. I've worn it before and I really liked it, so I was like, oh, let me work out in it. So, and I loved it. I really like this bra. I took the padding out and it's still super supportive, and I feel like you can barely see anything, which again, I don't care about, but I know some people really care about that. The back is super cute, very supportive, and like normally when stuff like this is strappy and low, it's not necessarily supportive, so that's awesome. I really like the contour lines of these shorts. See? And they actually have quite a few of them. And then it also has a little pocket. Yeah, super cute. So, little honesty hour. Maybe it won't echo so bad in here. I've not been doing great with my goals or with my mental health altogether. I'm having a difficult time, or I have been having a difficult time realigning myself with my goals and like my purpose and my why and everything behind it. And it's funny because this cut has been really mentally taxing for me. I'm having a really difficult time, and it's really, if you're open to receiving, you will receive, and that's just how I feel about that. What I mean by that is I was watching Natacha Oceane's video, I'll put it right here, and she was talking about Will Smith's journey, and one of the very first things that she comments on is how he is in a severe deficit, and he's training and he's exhausted and he's trying to just function throughout life, trying to do things that he wants to do without letting it impact his goals. And he's really focused on the scale, and he's like having a difficult time because ultimately he wants to feel good in his skin and he wants to be healthy, but he's having a hard time paying attention to anything outside of the scale. And the scale has always been a grounding point for me. So when I realized that it was like not even detrimental, it was like the scale isn't the problem, it's my diet, and doing it for so long and forgetting my why and getting so like wrapped up and caught up in lack of progress. And there's a part in the video which is so funny to make me feel good because I don't know Will Smith, right? But he seems like someone that, I'm guilty of it. I think that if someone's really rich and famous and they have access to all of the fitness and nutrition things in the world, they should have an easy time losing weight. I don't know why I was like, oh, I don't know, like this is not really gonna be something that relates to me. And from the very first week, he's exhausted, he's upset about the scale, and he's like, I'm nearly crying about food. And I was like, I cry about food. It's not an unhealthy thing with food, it's the fact that I'm so frustrated that like with my injury, I can't work out as hard, so I feel like I'm not giving 110% of that, so I feel like I have to give 120% in my diet to be able to compensate for it, and that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. And I've been sitting on the last like 5 pounds for what feels like forever now, and I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. And then all of a sudden I click on this random video from Natacha, watch this recap basically of a series because she's very science-based. I really like her account if you want to check her out. And it's literally just talking about Will Smith and his journey and what went wrong and all of these things. And it was really nice to hear that he was crying over food, and that's so dramatic. Or I guess not dramatic. It's weird to say that you're like grateful that someone else is experiencing your same pains, but it makes me feel like I'm not crazy, because I feel like everyone online talks about how they're like, I wanted to lose weight, so I just did it. And I'm like, I can't, I'm not like that. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm putting forth the effort, but it's hard. It is hard work losing weight. And like, sometimes it's not gonna be as easy for someone that is like, oh, I just set my mind to it, and then in a year I lost 80 pounds. And I'm like, I'm still sitting at my 40 and I feel like I can't lose anything else. And I'm doing so many things right that I just kind of had a breakdown. I was like, I can't do this. This is so hard. This is like incredibly difficult. And it's funny because at first, sorry, I'm like wobbling, but at first I was really embarrassed by this, because I feel like for my girls, like my online personal training girls and like my account and everything, I'm like, you should, if you're asking people to do this, you should be able to do it. And I felt like a fraud. You should talk about this. You should say that you're struggling. You should talk about how stupid hard it is to lose weight. And you could feel like you're doing everything right for months, and your body can just plateau for so many different reasons. And I'm sitting here beating myself up, and I'm like, dude, everyone beats themselves up. Like, you should talk about the fact that it's not easy for you, especially since my biggest complaint internally is that no one is struggling like I am. And I know that's not true, it's just no one's talking about it. So I wanted to come on here and just kind of say, dieting is hard and losing weight is hard. And if you have a goal that you've set your mind to, don't forget your why. Is when you go from losing 20 pounds in 2 months, 2-3 months, to struggling to lose 5 pounds in 6 months, it feels like something is disconnecting and wrong. And yes, I have an injury and things are like limiting my progression, but that doesn't mean that I haven't made progress and that I'm not putting in the effort. And if anything, I should be grateful and super proud of myself for still going through all of this while injured, because it's so easy to talk yourself out of being productive when you're injured. It's so easy. And it's one of those things where like my knee's feeling better. I found different physical therapy movements that are actually making it feel better, and I'm seeing progress, and it's not swollen as often, and that makes me want to cry because I miss lifting so much, and I really love powerlifting, and it's embarrassing to say that that's like something that like I can start running and I can do interval sprints like I like to do, and I feel like I'm really giving 110% in the gym, which is what makes me happy. Like, I love the gym, it's my happy place, and when I'm in a good state in there, everything else feels very easy. But because I've been in a bad state there, everything else has felt like 1,000,000 pounds, and I'm not that strong right now. I'm also really familiar with the bodybuilding community, and I know a lot of people that do that and shows, and I follow a lot of people really closely that do those things, and they also make it look really easy, and it's way more challenging than what I'm doing. So with things like that, it's not that it's bad for my mental health to follow them, it's almost I'm the problem because I'm comparing myself, and I've never been that person. I've never been that person. I'm always like, I want to look like the best version of me. Guess what, Danielle? You've lost so much weight and you look freaking awesome. It's one of those things where I'm like, I would have killed to feel comfortable wearing an outfit like this. Like, just being completely honest, I would have never worn something like this before. Never, ever in my life. I would have never worn something like this. I would have never filmed my workouts. I would have never felt like I had any type of stance or spot to, like, I didn't feel like I had the right to take up space in this world. So the fact that I'm sitting here saying like, oh, I haven't made any progress or anything like that, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're missing the point. That's the whole purpose of me starting all of this, was the fact that I didn't feel like anyone in my position, with my body weight, with my goals, with everything, was online, and I couldn't find someone that started at my goal weight and had a pretty evenly distributed weight on their body, so no one really thought they were overweight, but they were, type thing. Like, I couldn't find someone like that, and now I'm not being that for you guys. So I just wanted to come on here and kind of just, I guess, word vomit, be honest, and tell you that it's really hard for me right now, and for whatever reason I'm having like an epiphany, and it's given to me by Will Smith and myself. And Natacha Oceane is like our translator. But thank you for listening to me talk and being my friend. I hope you know we're besties. And I hate that. I hate when TikTokers are like, hey bestie, 'cause I'm like, you don't know me, I don't know you, but if you've gotten this far, we're besties. Hey guys, so I haven't checked in since I filmed that first portion of my vlog. I thought that I was going to vlog. I'm really sorry that I didn't, but if it makes you feel any better, you really didn't miss much except for a really awesome 2 workouts. And I'm glad that I actually didn't film those because I needed them. Being able to do almost my normal level of RDLs, which was crazy, weight and everything. And then I did like hip thrusts that were very low in weight. They were like 30 pounds, but it felt so good. Like my hamstrings are sore. I was able to like really work out. I was so excited because I've been eating out of my diet. So I've been eating, I would say closer to my maintenance, if not slightly in a surplus, but really not by much. I haven't been overeating. And I felt so strong in the gym and I felt like empowered and I enjoyed my workouts and I had energy and everything about it just functioning these last couple of days in the gym. I leave and a couple hours later I'm like, wow, I really wish I could go back. And the fact that I was able to do that diet break, it was actually kind of unintentional. And it just ended up being a diet break, but that was the best thing I think I could have done for my mental health. Was taking the diet break, refueling my passion for the gym, like acknowledging that I love working out and weightlifting is great when you have fuel, and like reminding myself that like food is fuel and I need to look at it that way and not think of it as a number anymore. And it's difficult when you're cutting to not think of food in terms of percentages. And I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. What's wrong with it is when it starts to impact you the way that it impacted me. But taking a step back and just kind of recentering and approaching it again in a healthy way was the best thing that could have happened. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for spending time with me and I will see you next Thursday.